presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, brought to you by Bambino's Italian Cafe, host of the Quarterback Club, Tip-Off Club, and the Leadoff Club at East Battlefield and Lone Pine. It's a pleasure to welcome to the show now the Marionville Comets head football coach, Paden Grubbs. Coach Grubbs, hey, thanks for your time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You bet. And kind of on a roll, Coach. 13-0, but you got the big one left. But before we talk about that, a semifinal win over a very good St. Vincent team, 38-7. Tell us about that contest.
Yeah, our offensive line really dictated the game. We went into it wanting to run the football, and our kids accepted the challenge and played extremely well. We're an older group up front, so they really wanted the opportunity to be able to play for a state championship. We just they put the team on their back and opened up a lot of big holes for our backs to run through, and we were able to control the clock, limit their offensive possessions with the spread pass game that they had, and we're able to score on our first 6 possessions of the game. And the defense played good enough. Again, we didn't play lights out defense, but we just played good enough. Got some stops when we needed them. Didn't tackle extremely well, so definitely some things that we can work on this week. But overall, was very pleased with our kids' effort, and just we're just glad to be still playing this time of year.
Coach, and talk about those, so to speak, no-name guys up front. You're going to be recognized, or the Comets will be recognized, the 20th year reunion or anniversary of the state title game. But we can still remember those guys' names from that era, and the Lee Floods and Nick Smarts. But talk about those guys up front that their names aren't called a lot unless they get a holding call, but they do so much up front. Kind of put some names with those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been doing a lot of double tight end sets the last few weeks, and just between Trace Silk, Owen Willis, Dalton Russell, Gary Stanton, then we got Alex Engel, Angel Quezada, Garrett Grimm, and Buddha Kleinlein. Those kids have been playing tremendous up front. They've been getting after it on the snap. They've been doing a really good job working their double teams up to the second level. But those kids have put in a lot of work, time, and effort. And the biggest thing with that group of kids, they're all juniors and seniors. So again, we're older up front, a lot of experience up front. And, anytime you have experience, whether it be on the offensive line or, just skilled players, it pays off big. And those kids are doing a phenomenal job up front. They're probably going to have one of their biggest tests this week against a big physical North Platte defensive and offensive lines. It's just going to be a battle of who can win the line of scrimmage, I feel like.
Well, in the first ever matchup with North Platte, what do you know about them? They're coming into the game, they're averaging 36 points a game, but they're giving up 14, where you guys are giving up less than a nickel. 4.8 points per game on the season. But what do you know about North Platte going into this?
Yeah, I didn't know a whole lot about them. Obviously, like you said, it's the first time we've ever met. But on top of that, I just know they play in a really good KCI conference. The last 3 state champion Class 1 teams have come from that conference. So very difficult conference. They're well prepared. And the first thing that I noticed on film when first watching them was just their size up front. Physical, big kids. Their backs are big and physical, even the quarterback. So they kind of remind me of the Adrian team that we played last year, watching them on film. They have good speed. So it's going to be a really physical football game, we feel like, going into Saturday. They do a lot of good things. So, but our kids understand that every game, that we've had the last 3 weeks, each team's going to get a little bit better and a little bit better. So they've stepped up to the challenge, and they're really excited and ready to accept the challenge of playing a really good North Platte team.
How would you compare them size wise and maybe statistical wise to a Portageville team?
Yeah, very similar up front. Portageville had the one singular defensive lineman that is just different. 350 pounds probably. They don't have that size, but other than that, they're all between that. They look like 220 and on the roster 220 to 260, and they move extremely well. It's kind of the difference too. They move extremely well, but I think they're similar in those ways. The Portageville kids move really well too, with their good size. So, and two, we've played some different teams this year with size. So I think the difference, though, is across the defensive line, I feel like North Platte does a really good job of hitting aiming points and squeezing plays. When we on our step down blocks, they're going to squeeze stuff. They're very gap sound. So, and then their backers do a good job of filling fast. So, we're going to have to be ready for our linemen to come off fast. And, again, it's just going to be a really good battle up front. And like I've told some other folks this week that I've talked to, whichever team can kind of control the line of scrimmage is going to have a big advantage, because every team going into this week is going to have a game plan. And I think whichever team can kind of execute their game plan better without having to make a lot of changes is going to have a big advantage. So, going to be very important for both teams between us and North Platte that will want to control the line of scrimmage. And I really feel like that's kind of where the game will be won out.
Of those things which you can prepare for, one will be maybe the atmosphere. As you know, you're taking kids into a Faroe Field. They some of them may never have even been to Faroe Field. How are you kind of preparing them, for that facility? And then something else you really can't prepare for is the weather. It's mid 40s and rain. What's your week been like there in preparation?
Yeah, it's to play every sport, and a lot of them, not a lot of them, but we have a handful of kids that played on the state championship baseball team. We have a lot of kids that play basketball. We're not even able to have a basketball team right now because the number of kids that play football and do the same in basketball. So, they've been able to play in big games. We've had 2 quarterfinal football games with this group of kids before now. Is a playing in district championships and sectional and quarterfinal and Final Four in baseball and basketball, helps pay off with the atmosphere. As far as the weather goes, we have good weather right now, to practice in at least. I think that the rain's going to be done by the time we play. I think the rain's going to be done early afternoon. Okay, as far as the rain goes, it will be cold, but I don't think that will matter to the kids that are playing. Especially with what's going to be at stake and getting to play for a state championship. And the playing surface isn't going to be grass, so I feel like footing will be fine. So when you take those things into factors, just I think the team that can come out and execute early and often a little better than the other team is going to have a little bit of an advantage as well. So that's what we've been preaching to our guys this week, is getting off to a good start.
3 p.m. Friday is the kickoff. What time do you guys head out, and are you staying overnight or going up that day?
Yeah, we'll go up Thursday, just to kind of there before we get up. And the biggest thing is I just want the kids to enjoy the experience as well. They really like each other. So, as a coach, you always worry a little bit about focus and staying the night at a hotel, but it's just, I feel like it's deserving for them. They put in the work for it and been provided the opportunity to do so. So we are going to go up Thursday afternoon and get there early evening to have dinner, and then allow the kids to, we'll take them to the stadium at some point and kind of let them see it early, to let them see what they'll be playing in.
Outstanding. Again, we're visiting with Marionville Comets head football coach Paden Grubbs. And Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time, and safe travels to you and your community, and go get the biggest trophy and come home a winner.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been a really fun year. We've really enjoyed it, and appreciate all your guys' coverage. Go Comets.
You bet. Paden Grubbs, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol, who reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. We'll be right back after these messages.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job, so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, unlock your code to claim $500 Chevy Cybercash. Visit ChevyCybercash.com today.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.